Raise your hand if you've got your Patty license. Well, it's Saul.
This bout.
What a pleasure to be in this unique environment. And we're off and running between these two really accomplished fighters. Let's see how they come out. That right hook catching air. That hook won't score. So much pre-match drama before this showdown. Who could forget what we saw yesterday at the weigh-in? These two boxers are finally ready to get it on.
You just see the nerves on a fight stepping into the ring, Tom. It can tell you so much about a fighter. And the look in the opposite corner. You've got one fighter that is in heaven. This is where they want to be.
Perfectly timed uppercut. Halfway through the round, and I don't know who's got the advantage. Great stuff.
Perfectly matched. Skill for skill. Tap for tap. Now this fight will say, you know what, I'm just that notch above you, and so I got to respect both of them. More than happy.
Both of these men showing exceptional chins, by the way. There. The straight right just misses. Despite what the judges' scorecards read, there are no losers in this one. Talk about Roy Jones in that last round. Well, we're entering desperation mode here. Gonna need a knockout. Here we go for round two. Not the start that they wanted, but let's see what they can do in this round.
That was a tough last round. Now you've got to make sure he doesn't put it on him. That's what he's going to try and do. So tie him up, hold him, lean on him. Don't get drawn into a fight. Not yet. Not until your senses have come back.
Sometimes when you're fighting a counter fighter, the rounds can get a little boring. You get trigger shy because you know if you throw a punch, one is coming right back at you.
Todd, I understand what you're saying, but you've got to be on this. You've got to be on it. You've got to be a pro. You've got to think right. Concentrate.
Looking to land the hook. Just missing with the uppercut. Those who thought this would be a mismatch, you are sorely wrong.
Skill for skill, tap for tap. Just like a match made in heaven.
They both want the knockout. Nice counter punch right up the middle. This counter fighter believes in the anything you can do, I can do better. They'll let you throw a punch first, and they'll answer you and usually hit you harder.
If you're fighting a counter puncher, you've got to dummy a shot. Make them react from that, then react then. I know it's hard to think that way, but counter punchers, they're watching your every move, that every twitch.
Very close round with 10 seconds to go. Talk about Roy Jones in that last round. From this moment forward, he cannot afford to lose another round.
Wow.
There's the bell for round three. So the fight will continue. How do they turn things around?
They've had 1 minute to recover. Now they've got to bluff it. They've got to bluff it. They've got to come out now and style it out. Get on the back foot, jab, rest on the jab. Be smart and pop until your legs come back. Then put the pressure on.
start respecting each other's punching power. Well done with that counter shot. How about that time counter shot? Not a lot of punch output. Thought there might be more action here. Big hook. Good thing it didn't land. Defense is not an option for these two. Has to be careful for that receipt. It's always coming. A very competitive round with 10 seconds left. Let's talk about Roy Jones in that last round. That was almost a 10-8 round. Complete dominance. Here we go in round 4. Who's going to land the first big shot? This fight has been very one-sided. What are we going to have in this round?
Todd, my motto is, if it's not broken, why change it? An excellent last round, everything works. Wait for the reaction. Until then, keep doing what you've just been doing because you've won that hands down.
When you're a power puncher, you're not as concerned with how many punches you throw. It's about how many you land and how hard they are.
I've seen certain fighters that can depend on just their power alone. Forget tactics. They know the second they touch you, it's done. That's where the confidence comes from.
Perfect counter shot. Which fighter will say no mas? Can they figure out the combination to this save?
They're so close, so close. How can you separate them? It's going to be a hard night tonight for the judges.
Nice stop, but that won't score. He threw a punch and just got countered. Those counter punches have to hurt. That hook doesn't score. Every time they drop their guard, they get caught. Good defense there with that left hook. This round's still up for grabs with just 10 seconds to go. Let's talk about Roy Jones in that last round. Talk about a one-sided 3 minutes. We just saw it. Time for the 5th round. They've got all the momentum on their side after that last round. Let's see what they do here.
Todd, my motto is, if it's not broken, why change it? An excellent last round, everything works. Wait for the reaction. Until then, keep doing what you've just been doing because you've won that hands down.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but when you're dealing with someone with so much speed, you've got to get your timing right.
Having so much speed, what happens to your opponent is you get cut to ribbons, and that's where the referee has to jump in and stop the fight. And you know this is going to happen, so you rush your work. You think, I've got to get him inside close round.
Nice counter shot. The stamina is off the charts. We're at the halfway point of this round, and both of these fighters have had their moments. Still could go either way.
Skill for skill, tap for tap. She's got a match made in heaven.
A perfect counter lands. Swing and a miss with that hook. Johnny, you know there's a fine line between being aggressive and being too aggressive. How does he exploit that?
Middleweights always gives us a class. If you've got two class middleweight fighters, you are in for action. I'm quite sure right now, if you know your boxing, there's a certain fighter, Mr. I would just say marvelous, but
you know the scorecards are going to be all over the place in this one. Talk about Roy Jones in that last round. We'll see how much endurance these two fighters have.
There's a lot on the line here.
Now it's a tougher fight. He's going to become...
Let's start the 6. How much is left in their tank after last round?
An amazing pace and tempo set in the last round. Can you keep this up? Me personally, I don't think that's possible. And if they can, their training, their conditioning would have been ridiculous, like they're in the army. But these guys, if they can keep up this pace, we are in for a great night.
Catch and shoot. What heart, what desire, but at what cost? This fighter expending a lot of energy in this round. What do you think of this fight so far, Johnny?
It's the one who draws first blood, Todd. That's what you've got to look at. If you've hit and you know you're in there with a banger, you've got to be on it, but you've got to be confident.
Halfway through the round, and it's pretty much even Steven.
Perfectly matched, skill for skill, tap for tap. Now this fight will say, you know what, I'm just that notch above you, and so I've got to respect both of them more than happy.
Is he going to punch himself out, though? And he scores with the counter. There's a counter shot. Good idea, but misses with the left hook. That counter shot lands. This round could go either way. 10 seconds to go. Talk about Roy Jones in that last round. Now you start wondering how much work these two fighters did in the gym.
This is when you talk about championship material.
I love that. I love that, chaps.
And there's the bell for round 7. Fatigue is setting in. Let's see how they handle it here in this round.
Exerted a lot of energy in the fight so far. Now they're shattered. This is what you call championship rounds. If you have done the work, slept right, ate right, prepped right, I'm expecting you to get through this. If not, if you've cheated, the ring can be the loneliest place in the world.
Well, just a couple rounds left, Johnny. What's your assessment so far?
Todd, you know what? Sometimes when I've gone in the ring with fights like that and you punch them, you just want to run. You want that spaceship to come and lift you out there because you think, what the hell am I going to do now?
Is he going to punch himself out, though? He needs to be careful not to punch himself out. This fight a little bit closer than I think a lot of people thought.
They're so close, so close. How can you separate them? It's going to be a hard night tonight for the judges.
Good counter punching. Stamina. The pound for pound king, Canelo is down. Now that is a massive knockdown. Let's take another look.
I need to see that again.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We're out.
So it's onward and upward after...
For I am the truth. I am the light that lighteth every man and woman that cometh into this continent, into this world of America today.